everybody. We're back. My next guest was a regular on Melrose Place. Now she can be seen Sunday nights on one of the hottest shows in America, Desperate Housewives. Please welcome Marcia Cross. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having
Congratulations. It's very, very rare this happens in TV, a huge explosion like this.
I think it's still sinking in.
Still sinking in?
Yeah.
It was hard for me to adjust to that meteoric rise. Why would you laugh?
Sorry, I don't know.
Now, let me just ask, just on a personal level, did you like, I know you had red hair growing up, and did you like it or not like it?
My God, let's talk about it.
Yes, well, I hated it when I was a kid. I just absolutely, I had, you know, just my hair, when it was it was like orange when I was a kid. I was an orangutan, and you know, people would stare, and I had the freckles and everything, and I hated it. Did you like it? Oh
my God, I lived in a T-shirt. I always had white zinc oxide on my nose, and I mean, you know, as an adult, how about going to the beach? I'm really sexy here in my white day-glow skin and my zinc oxide. And
well, also, people don't know that. There was when I was growing up, there was not sunblock.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 1920s, and there was... I was a hobo. I rode the rails. No, there was no... when I grew up, there was no... And so my mother would just put us in, like, shirts, long-sleeve shirts.
Me too.
And you'd be in the ocean, and, you know, some girl that you had a crush on would go by, and you'd come out and wearing a soggy, long shirt. I don't know why I also did this. This didn't...
That might have been the problem.
That was dumb, too.
No, you just don't feel attractive as a white-skinned human on the beach. It doesn't work. The coconut oil, no.
Yeah, well, it's working on you now. It looks
Thank
fantastic. And first of all, this is an amazing story. You had this great success on Melrose Place that a lot of actors would dream for, and then that show ran its course, and it ended, and you were done, and parts weren't coming in, and you decided, I'm not going to sit around. I'm going to get a master's in psychology.
Yeah, I took an intro to psych class, and I loved it, and so I kept going, and then I'd work a little bit, but nothing fabulous, and I went so much that I finally had all my credits, so I needed to get my clinical training, which I started, and I was seeing clients in LA for about a year. And I was pretty much, you know, headed down that path. And then I got a job on Everwood, which is shot in Utah, so I had to make a decision, and I thought, well, I guess I'm not done. And I went from that and got Desperate Housewives while I was finishing up that, and here I am. So I'm stunned.
That's an incredible story, because most actors, they're just waiting for that next thing to come. It doesn't happen, and you know what I mean? But you decide, yeah, I think nuclear physicist, I'll try that for a bit. Well, I just discovered a new element. Oh, time to do Desperate Housewives. No, I'm an astronaut. I mean, that's good for you. But here's what interested me, because I was a big Melrose Place fan. I used to watch that show all the time. On that show, you played a deranged doctor.
I did.
Then, as part of your work, you volunteer at a hospital, and you're walking around. You must have had some people who see you come into their room late at night just to give them a pillow or something, and they think it's lights out, you know?
That's exactly what happened. I had my little volunteer smock, and I thought nothing of it because I left Kimberly, you know, at work, and then I would open the door, you know, to get them water or have a conversation, and they'd be a little high, and they'd just kind of be,
I'm here, drink this. You'll be fine.
I had to kind of straighten it out, and then after that, I'd go for a walk with them and have a great time.
Also, you're dealing with people who are having trouble with reality.
Yeah.
You're like, didn't I see you on TV? Yes, you did, but now I'm your doctor. That's great for the old noodle. Now, after... This is something that I admire about you. After Melrose Place, and you did very well, you decided not to go crazy during that whole period of time. You didn't blow your money. Is this right? You kept a modest one-bedroom apartment, and you drove your old car.
A Hyundai, yeah.
A Hyundai?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't into cars. I mean, I think cars should be rubber, you know? I think we should just bump each other and move on, you know? Like, when we're kids, like, who cares, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I was driving a Hyundai, and I was in San Diego doing a play, and we were all stuck in traffic. It was 4th of July weekend, and somebody, you know, says, hey, are you that girl from Melrose Place? And I'm thinking, why? All right. And I said, yeah, I am. And then a few minutes later, I hear this yell, no, you're not, or you wouldn't be driving that crappy car.
That's terrible. Like,
I was just trying to be nice.
Yeah,
and
it gets you from point A to point B. It doesn't have to be...
I didn't care. The car worked. I loved it, you know?
Yeah. Hey, you're talking to the guy that's still in my 92 Ford Taurus that I drive around. SHO, super high. Oh, I don't know what the O means. I'm finding out.
We look like we could be related. related.
I know. So many things are lining up right now.
Like
Yeah,
if I had a
we're both
dog-
cheap. We're both got red hair. Not cheap, thrifty.
It's New England. It's I'm from New England.
That's
I'm from
right. Where in New England are you
Massachusetts.
from? Where in Massachusetts?
Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Marlborough, Brookline. Yeah.
Oh,
so
see,
there you
I
go.
have a hard time buying things I don't need, like this dress, but I did.
Just charge it to the network. That's what I do. Probably shouldn't be upfront about that.
If we were choosing dogs, we would choose each other. You know how people pick dogs that look like their owners?
Wait, if we were choosing dogs, we would choose each other. My wife would have something to say about that. Honey, there's our new dog. The beautiful Marcia Cross. I'm going to go play with her outside. No, you're not.
You know what I mean? It's
I know
like
you
that,
mean. I know you mean. I know you mean.
No offense to your wife.
Know what you mean?
Okay.
No. She's not having that, though. That's not going to happen.
Do you have a redheaded baby?
No, our baby is not a redhead.
Oh.
You know, the redheaded gene is apparently a weird gene, yeah. But it goes away. It shows up in a generation, then will disappear. So I could have 90 kids, and none of them may.
They don't have pigment.
Exactly.
I date men with pigment.
You do?
You know, if they have some dark.
Wait a minute.
skin,
That's so disloyal of you. So when it comes to you dating, you're like, no pale redheaded sap for me. Olive-skinned macho men.
They don't have to be macho, but But now that I know it's recessive,
That's terrible.
I can date anybody.
Because of the color of my skin. I thought this country had grown beyond that. But clearly. Well, the next episode of I have to mention this is one of those shows where I don't really need to tell people when it's on, but because everyone loves it so much. The next episode of Desperate Housewives airs November 21st at 9 on ABC. Congratulations, you really deserve all this success. Great to have you on the show. Marcia Cross. We'll be right back with Arj Barker. Stick around.